Imagine trying to sell something to this guy.
This thing, I said, this is like crap.
Goose.
I want to make sure I'm not getting goosed on this. That's expensive to me. I start to get nervous. I'm a little nervous now. Resolve the cheapness. That's what I want to resolve, the cheapness.
Alright, well, if you cheapness in you or cheapness here?
No, right here, Joseph. Right. Joseph is cheap. And I worry about money. Especially today, everything's so expensive. You gotta worry. I don't care what anybody says. You're a good guy, Mike, but I'm going with the cheaper one.
Cheaper one?
Yeah.
Alright.
Sorry.
Hi, I'm Mike O'Grady. Welcome to Selling at the Kitchen Table, a contractor's guide to closing the deal. Episode 1, Selling to the Cheap, I Can Do It Myself customer. I'm on my way to Middletown, New Jersey, and they're interested in changing the furnace and air conditioning system. I got a chance to call and pre-qualify the customer last night. Joe is the homeowner. You know, he is a very, what's the word I want to use, cheap person. He's the kind of guy, from talking to him, he used the word sharpened his pencil a few times. I don't have a lot of money to do this. I can't pay what Craig and Gina paid, so you better make sure that you come with a good price for me. I'm gonna have to have a couple options for him, I know that, and I'm gonna have to definitely be ready for some abuse, let's say. So let's see how this goes. Mr. Tedros? How are you? I'm Mike.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you. I talked to you last night about your heating and air conditioning system. Your approach is very important. It may not seem like a big deal, but when you go up and you knock on a door, I was always told years ago that friends knock. So when they hear a knock at the door, I often get the comment, oh, is the bell not working? But it's a friendly approach. You think about it. If your neighbors come over, did I ring the bell? Did I knock? A lot of times they knock. I always knock. It keeps things open, friendly. It's a subliminal thing, but it makes a big impression. Joe, here's a couple cards for you.
Thanks, man.
I know we spoke last night, but just tell me a little about what's going on with this thing.
That thing doesn't produce enough heat or air conditioning for this house. I can tell you right now. Okay. It's way too small. You'll see.
You were referred by Gene and Craig, right?
Gene and Craig Brush Street, yeah.
Okay. We took care of them last year. We changed the air conditioning for them.
Yeah, they were happy, so that's cool.
Tell you what, can we sit down for a minute and just
Let's
talk? Okay. Just so I can get some background on what's going on. So, Joe, you guys have been in this house for how many years?
Babe, how long have we been here?
5 years.
5 years.
5 years. I guess that's your wife up there, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I try to tell people.
Are you guys, I can tell from your accent that you're from New Jersey, right?
Oh yeah, I'm from Jersey. I'm from Brooklyn.
Okay.
Brooklyn, USA.
Okay. Are you still pissed about the Dodgers?
What?
The Dodgers left Brooklyn.
Yeah. Where I used to live was the Dodgers building.
Okay.
On Boston Flatbush?
Yeah.
That was the Dodgers building. They lived in that building.
Oh my God.
And now it's just a regular building now.
That's so cool.
Of course, you're from the church.
All right, so you're here 5 years. In the time you've been here, who's been taking care of the heating and air conditioning as far as maintenance, filter changes, all that stuff?
Joseph.
Okay.
I do it myself. So
all
cheap, you know. I'm not paying anybody to come and do it.
Okay.
I do it.
Is that what you do? I mean, are you a mechanic by trade? Is that what you do for a living, or?
Yeah, I do some stuff here and there, but I can figure out whatever, you know, to clean it out. What's the big deal?
Right.
It's not oil or anything like this. It's just gas, so most of it's just, you know, you just clean it out. It's not that big of a deal. And change the filter, you know. Don't make sense to pay somebody to come change your filter.
Okay. But nobody's been checking, putting gauges on it, checking refrigerant levels? In a situation where someone is almost bragging about what they like to do, you can't sit there and cut them off and say, no, but I know better. You have to let them keep going. You have to go ahead and just listen. You know, you're born with 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Use them in proportion to one another. So let the guy go. You know, let him reinforce why he's so good at what he does, and that just builds good chemistry between the two of you.
Yeah, so what I did is, of course, it did freeze up and the thing was getting watery. I drilled a hole through it.
Okay.
I drilled a hole through it. I'll show it to you later. I drilled a 3-inch hole through it, and I stuck my hand in there, and I cleaned it out.
Oh, it was all gunked up underneath?
It was all gunked up.
All right.
It was all gunked up. So I cleaned it out. It was a little better.
Okay. So let's do this. Let's go downstairs. I want to look at the furnace first, then we'll go outside and look at the air conditioner, all right? All right, so Joe, this thing went underwater, you said?
Look at it. So I cut these things in the floor here, these cuts here.
Okay.
And I pop that hole there to get water out of here.
You know, average life of a furnace today is typically somewhere between, 15 to 20 years, depending on how it's taken care of. The challenge is, I mean, before you got...
Oh, I know. I keep changing stuff on it all the time.
Yeah.
I changed these.
Yeah.
I changed... You see that one's brand new? I changed that. I even have the wire. Look at the wire bypass.
Yeah. I mean, I think at this point,
that's dangerous. I know.
You're smart in getting it out of here, so... Now, once you're actually in a position where you're able to educate, you're downstairs at the furnace, for example, and you're noticing a couple things that have not been done, that's the time to go ahead and start pointing out a couple issues. Now, if he's a Mr. Fix-It, takes great pride, it's done in a very casual kind of way where you're just pointing out to him some of the things that he needs to look out for in the future. Maybe if you say, if you continue to do this maintenance yourself, here's a couple things you need to watch. This hasn't been cleaned, that hasn't been cleaned. You want to make sure you're using a different type of filter, for example. Something that he could sit there and he can't ignore, and he can't sit there and deny. He has to sit there and acknowledge that this hasn't been done. And that just reinforces your professionalism at that point, and it's going to lead to him wanting to use you for this job.
Oh, yeah, all right.
I'll show you when we go upstairs. After I figure out the sizing, we'll go upstairs. I'll show you the options, because one system's a little bit different than the other. The high efficiency one with direct vents, that doesn't use the chimney, is a different. That one qualifies for the tax credits and the rebates. That's
that one. Okay, I got you now.
All right,
I got you now.
So, but I'll show you the both. I mean, that way you have a couple options.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Once you've finished all your measurements, now it's time to sit down and do your load calculations and also figure out the options with pricing and all that kind of fun stuff.
This is the part I hate. What? When they start pulling out the books.
This is a book that we keep. This is our updated certificate of insurance, our membership to the Better Business Bureau. This is my certificate for refrigerant handling and load calculation. But here's, I get referral letters from people all over the place. Every time we do a job, I talk to people about the quality of what we did, if they were happy. So here's a bunch of referral letters and references.
Where's the bad letters?
Yeah, I keep those on my car. I don't put those in here. So the good ones are all here.
These are the good ones. All right, I got you.
So take a look at these. I'm going to figure this out, and I'll come up with a solution for you in a few minutes. All right?
All right.
Okay,
I got
sounds good. A credibility book is key. Any type of a book where you keep any certificates that you have, insurance, any type of awards, any type of classes you've been through, for example, and then testimonial letters, referral letters, you want to make sure that you collect these, and that just reinforces that, wow, I actually called a real good company. So the credibility book is key. All right, Joe.
You want a bottle of water?
Yeah, please.
Dad, get him a bottle of water.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Me too.
Wow. You snap your fingers like that and she just goes.
You gotta do these things in life.
That's not very
nice. I gotta train like a seal.
That's not very nice. The equipment that we're using is Carrier. This furnace is the one I just talked about downstairs. It vents directly outside. The efficiency rating on it is over 95%. What you have in here now, the efficiency rating on it is probably operating about 70 at this point.
Probably.
So you're gaining about 25% on your heating savings. All right, Joe, so what I'm going to do is go through the two options. The first one is, when I'm talking about the furnace, it's the 95% efficient furnace. It vents directly outside. So this is the 95% furnace, variable speed, blower motor, 3 stages of heat. The coil on top, the outdoor air conditioner. Now it's the
sounds expensive to me.
it sounds expensive.
It sounds expensive.
I didn't even get to the price yet.
I know it's making me nervous.
All right, don't worry. I'll be here to calm you.
All right, I'm gonna need calming.
All right. So it's what gives you efficiency on air conditioning is the outdoor unit, the indoor coil, and the blower of the furnace. So those 3 things give you this rating of 16. What's out there right now is around a 10. Now, whenever a customer changes their behavior, they start scratching their head, they start wiping their forehead. They even said, in this case, Joe even said, "You're making me nervous, you're making me nervous." He's getting antsy because he feels that this is a great idea for him, and now he's starting to shift. The gears are starting to shift, and he's starting to all of a sudden become a buyer versus someone that's getting an estimate. So pay attention to that, because that means that a decision is near. So this is all your running refrigerant lines, venting it, putting the chimney liner in we talked about downstairs, changing the electrical outside, take away the existing equipment. So you're at 12.3. I took $500 off for the referral from Gina and Craig.
Why is this one so much cheaper than that one?
I'm gonna get to
And
it.
it's just like, all right.
I'll get to it, I promise.
I start to get nervous. I'm a little nervous right now. And I worry. I worry about money. Especially today, everything's so expensive. You gotta worry. I don't care what anybody says.
Now, when you're dealing with a customer like Joe, Joe is always looking at bottom line numbers. So you could pretend that you're going to sit there and go through all your options when it comes to closing and get through this without him making a comment. It's not going to happen. So I'm very comfortable with, as I'm going through my closing options, have him jump in, asking questions, almost having to continue to educate while I'm doing that. And because the bottom line is, as I'm talking to him, his eyes are going right to the bottom of the page, right to the bottom of the page. He wants to see what the bottom line number is. So I'm okay with continuing to educate and answer questions during this process. And I'm just going to keep going with my options, answer the questions, go from option 1 to option 2, and let him interrupt if he needs to. I'm okay with that because I know what the answers are, and in the end, I'm going to let him choose the best option for him.
So, like, if I went with the cheaper one, what's the difference? You know, I mean, this is a little better, this one here, but this is a lot more money. Cheaper.
Well,
to me,
the difference is that it's all a matter of what do you want to resolve. So if you don't care about...
resolve the cheapness. That's what I'm going to resolve, the cheapness.
All right. Well, if you cheapness in you or cheapness here?
No, right here, Joseph. Right. Joseph is cheap.
What's the difference in the long run between the both?
In the long run, this system that's more energy efficient is going to save about $200 per month than the other one. So if we say...
Wait, what do you mean? I don't get that. $200 a month where? I don't know.
Between gas and electric, this one is going to use less gas and electric than this one. So this one will save you, based on your utility bills, about $800 a year. This one's going to save you approximately about $600 a year.
So we're going to see it in our bills every month.
So let's just do the math real quick. So
12, I see where this is going.
Times 200.
I see.
So in a year, that's $2,400 that you're going to end up saving.
Right.
Yeah, I'm better off with the bigger one then.
Yeah, but once,
I see where you're going with that.
Once it ends, after your 1 year interest free, you continue to save that money.
Right, correct.
So I might as well go for the better one then.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
It's worth it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No, at first I didn't know where we were going with this. Now I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
I understand. No, I didn't know about how much less it would burn. I didn't think it would burn like that. So now that you're saying that, I understand now.
Okay.
And this would be the better deal.
All right. You know, Joe is a self-proclaimed, I'm cheap, you know, sharpen your pencil, lowest price kind of guy. I do it myself. But in the end, when he saw the value, he was very easy to close. He wasn't that challenging. So we really can't have any preconceived notions when we hear that someone's cheaper, they're getting multiple estimates. We have to go in there and meet the person and let the estimate take place. Let the person be themselves and buy the way they buy. And don't go ahead and have something set in your head that this person's not going to buy because they're cheap. Let the person express themselves and you make the best recommendation for them.
Love it. Love it. Baby. What I love about it, I got air conditioning in the house. Before there was no air conditioning. You know what I mean? Now I got air conditioning upstairs. Before it was just a downstairs thing. Now it's an upstairs thing. You know what I mean? Double. The price was good. It was a good price. Wasn't the best price in the world. Nah, it was a good price. You know what I mean? But the 2-year 0 interest, that's a big seller right there, you know what I mean? So I have to come up with $1 million every month, you know what I mean? No, I was talking to the neighbors, and they saw what these guys did. These guys were good, and I think the guys next door wanted too. So I'll call Mike up and I'll tell them, beep up, whatever. These people want, they need it too, because they got a small unit too. It was the same as what I had. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted out of life. Just a little comfort, a little television set, a little air condition, a girlfriend, nah, and that's it.
This is a real-life example of the psychology of closing the sale. Joe's a smart guy. Just because he may not be very polished doesn't mean he's not a smart guy. He just makes decisions a little bit different from you and I. If you give someone time to make the right decision and let them logically think about it, eventually it's going to come out where they'll make a smart buying decision.
I'm happy. Happy as a pig in shit. Oh, I'm happy.